guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the Empties update for November. I have quite a few things in my Empties basket, or my Empties bag I guess, this month, so I'm just gonna go and jump straight into it. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. But let's just jump into my first empty. So I think this is actually the first time I have more makeup empties than non-makeup empties. So I'm just gonna, again, as always, start with the non-makeup empties and then move into the makeup empties at the end. But I do have quite an exciting empties video today. But yeah, let's just start with the non-makeup empties. We're gonna start with this one because I always have a Batiste Dry Shampoo. This one is like the big daddy size, so it's like super big. I like compared to my head. It's the normal size. I would probably go up to here, just to give you some perspective. So this one is the 350 milliliter size, if that says anything. But I did pick two of these up because I go through the Batiste Dry Shampoo so quickly that I bought two of these really big sizes when I saw them in Boots. And this is the tropical scent. It wasn't my favorite scent, to be honest. I really didn't like this scent. I don't know what it is about it. It smells very powdery to me in a way. And yeah, I just don't love this scent, so I wouldn't purchase this specific scent again. But as you all know, I love Batiste Dry Shampoo, and I will repurchase that probably forever. The rest of the non-makeup empties are all skincare. The first one I have is I moisturize. You can see I've used every little bit of this. This is actually from COSRX, and this is the Comfort Ceramide cream, which is obviously a ceramide cream. It's really nice and moisturizing, and I really enjoy this. I might repurchase this again. I would say this is a really like simple, quite thick and moisturizing moisturizer. It's something that I used if my skin was really dry, or if my skin was like irritated or anything like that, and just in general as a good moisturizer. So I definitely would repurchase this again. I'm currently using the CeraVe big top of, I can't remember what it's called. It's their extra, it's a moisturizer for extra dry skin, but I can't remember what it's called, which is really good as well. It's also one that I use because my skin gets really dry if I don't use really heavy moisturizers, but this is definitely one that I would repurchase again. I got this off Gestalt, and I don't really know where else you can get it, but I do recommend this, especially if you have sensitive skin. While we're on Korean and Asian skincare, we have this one right here, which is the Unique, is I-U-N-I-K, Unique I guess. Propolis Vitamin Synergy Serum, which was a serum that I picked up again from Gestalt. I've gone through one of these before, but this is the second one I've finished. This is supposed to be calming, nourishing and brightening and wrinkle care. I just really like this as a serum. It is a nice extra layer of moisture. I don't really know what kind of benefit this gave me in the long run, but Propolis serums are supposed to be really good. This one didn't really have a strong scent or anything. It was quite a nice, like, just a simple serum. It's not my favorite that I ever tried, but obviously I did finish one up and use another one, so I have repurchased this. So I do like it, but I definitely have better serums out there. And honestly, I haven't really found a holy grail serum. Toners, when it comes to the toners, I really love like the Asian kind of moisturizing toners, rather than like obviously the more European Western like journey toners. Like, for example, like you get the witch house toners, or like toners with alcohol in them, or like, you know, the more kind of clarifying toners, even like the exfoliating toners, stuff like that. But I really do like the, especially Korean moisturizing toners more than serums. So I will probably always have a serum, but I do mix between different ones because I don't really have any favorites. But this one is a nice one if you are looking for a nice, quite affordable, if I remember, serum. I have one more serum that I really do actually enjoy. This one I use more in the morning because it's quite a nice, it's a really interesting texture. Anyway, the serum I'm talking about is the COSRX Advanced Snail Mucin Power Essence. So I guess it's more of an essence rather than a serum, but essence, I guess it is similar to a serum. I don't actually understand the difference, but yeah, this one is really nice. This one is quite a large bottle, as you can see, but I did go through this actually just a few days ago. I've been using this on the makeup because, again, it's quite an interesting formula. It's quite thick, but as soon as you start applying it, it goes into your skin really fast, and it just gives really nice hydration. So that's why I use this underneath my foundation, and I did really enjoy it. I probably will repurchase this again in the future. I'm just trying to get through some of the skincare that I have built up in my collection, especially because I am moving. I don't actually know if I said this in my videos yet, but I'm planning to move hopefully end of January. So I am just looking to get rid of as much, or finish up as many of my kind of half empty skincare products. So before before I move I probably won't repurchase this, but it's definitely one that I will go back to in the future. And then the last non-makeup empty I have is my Nivea Double Effect Eyebrow makeup remover. This is my all-time favorite. It is the only thing that I have found that really takes off all my waterproof eye makeup, because I do use waterproof mascara every day, and I tried so many other things. I tried like cleansing balms, and they are quite good. Some of them do work really well, but this is just a foolproof makeup remover item that I love using, and I used to use these with my reusable cotton pads to reduce waste, and yeah, it works really well for me. I bought a 3-pack of these recently, so I have plenty of these as backups because I just go through them so quickly, but they're honestly to me the best eye makeup remover. So like I said, the remaining items are actually makeup items, and we're gonna start with like primer, face makeup, and go from there. The first one I have is my Guerlain L'Or primer. This one was in one of my projects and I did finish it up recently. You can see the progress lines there on the back. I did really enjoy this, but it was getting really old in my collection. I could see that the consistency is starting to change. Before it was more thick, but it became more liquidy towards the end, but I do really like this. It's very kind of tightening on the skin. It makes foundation go on really smoothly, and yeah, I like this, but it is very, very expensive, and I feel like now I have found better things, or like comparable things, I guess, for cheaper. So I don't think I would repurchase this again, but I was really happy to try it out, and I did really enjoy this. And originally I had this more as a special occasion primer, but obviously since it was getting older, I just wanted to finish up before it went off. So I did enjoy this, like I said, but it's probably too expensive for what it is for me. I have 2 concealers to go through, so let's just talk about them next. The first one I have is my Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer in the shade Warm Medium 3. I did take off the stopper out of this one, and I did finish up everything in this container. I had this for such a long time, like an embarrassingly long time, but it was just too deep for me and I just didn't know when to use it. But I kept this around just in the hopes of kind of using this during summers when I had more of a tan. But even the undertone wasn't really perfect for me, so in the end I just put this in a project and I tried to use it up that way. I used it as a mixing concealer, I used it as a foundation a couple of times, not going out because again the undertone wasn't perfect for me, but it worked just for like working from home and stuff like that, and that's how I used this up. But I remember really liking the Lasting Perfection concealers, but this wasn't my shade, and I think again I found better things since I bought this, so I probably won't repurchase again. But if you do have a limited budget and you live in the UK, I don't know if you can get this in the US. I think you probably can now, but it's a UK brand to start with. I would recommend this, but it's quite heavy. But if you want something really full coverage, I would recommend you trying it. But for me now, especially now with my skin is drier and me getting older, I think this is too heavy and it's just not my preference anymore. The next concealer is my nemesis, and you've probably seen this in my whole collection product pan. This is my Makeup Forever Full Cover Concealer in the shade number 6. As you can see on the back, I did have this in for several months. It took me 11 months to finish this up, and it wasn't even full. As you can see, it was only here. So yeah, a really long time to finish this up, but I'm happy to have this out now. And it's a bit bittersweet because I had this in my collection for so long, and it was something that I used every single day, that yeah, it's a bit bittersweet to have it done. But I don't think I would repurchase this, but it is a really good concealer, especially for spot concealing. I also used this as an eyeshadow primer and it worked wonderfully for that, so I would recommend this if you do have Makeup Forever close to you, and if you're looking for a really high cover concealer, especially for spot concealing. But yeah, it's just I don't really spot conceal anymore, and I look for lighter concealers on my eyes. And obviously for an eye primer it does work really well, but I would actually prefer to have an actual eye primer rather than a concealer for that. So I don't really have a spot for this in my collection anymore, but I do really recommend it if you are on the lookout for a similar concealer to this. I did use up one foundation in the past month, and this is my Luminaire Blur foundation in the shade number 0 Light Ivory. This was technically too light for me, but I did use this to mix, and I did use it on its own a few times as well with bronzer. I really like this foundation, but I think it's not my favorite anymore. I don't think I can even get this here in the UK, but I did pick this up in Sweden, and I would consider picking this up again, especially to have as a mixer foundation, because it goes really light. I don't know if you can see it here, but it does go super light, so it's a good mixer foundation. But yeah, I have a few other things to go through, and potentially I would purchase this, but I think it would be more if I'm in a pinch when I'm in Sweden and I just forgot my foundation or something and I just need to pick something up, I will go for this one because I know it works really well. Next up, I finished up finally my Rcma No Color Powder. This was a product that I had for such a long time in my collection, and it comes in a massive bottle as you can see, so it did take quite a few years to finish up. It was a really nice powder and I would definitely consider purchasing this again, but I have asked a couple times for recommendations on loose powders because I just want to try something different, because I did honestly have this probably for 5 years in my collection and I use this regularly as the one and only loose powder that I have. So I would potentially repurchase this again because it's really nice, and it's especially really nice for the price because it's not too expensive and you get a lot, like I said, in here. But if you do have any recommendations for loose powders, just let me know because I would be interested in trying something different. The next one is probably the most exciting empty that I have in this month's empties, and that is my NARS Tahiti bronzer. And you can see the size of this. This is a massive bronzer and took up a lot of space in my collection. I did have this in my 21 and 21-1 project, and I did repress this because again the packaging is massive, so you can see there that the pan is empty, and I did use this up. Again, I did repress this into a different compact, and it took 2 repressings to finish up all of the products, but it's now finished, and this big massive packaging can finally leave my collection because yeah, again, it's quite large, and I mean, it was a nice bronzer. I think this is the same bronzer as the Laguna, but this is a bigger size. But yeah, I think I want to try other things. I want to try something a bit more glowy, and like, I don't know, there's so many bronzers that I want to try, and when I have this one out now, I think I might allow myself to buy a new bronzer because I don't actually have too many in my collection. And then the final empty that I have this month is a lipstick. This one comes from Primark, and I never know what the name of this is because it just has a random numbers on the back, which is PS2493-00. It was a beautiful kind of corally shade, but towards the end it was not really appropriate for the season because again, this is more of a summer shade. But I did use this up as a cream blush towards the end, and this is now done. And those were all of the empties that I had in the last month. I did have, like I said, quite an exciting one because I had so many makeup empties in the last month, which I kind of expected because I did think I mentioned that in my last empties as well. But that is it for today. I really hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys!